Question. DS. At a certain party, 15 guests had hamburgers, and 20 guests had chicken sandwiches. If the total number of guests at the party was 30, how many people did not eat anything? Condition 1. The number of people who only had a chicken sandwich was 10. Condition 2. The number of people who only had a hamburger was 5. Solution. Now we will solve this DS question using the variable approach. DS, 4 variables and 3 equations, question. Condition 1, 1 equation. Condition 2, 1 equation. DS question with 4 variables and 3 equations. Let the original condition in a DS question contain 4 variables and 3 equations. Now, 4 variables and 3 equations would generally require one more equation to give us the value of the variables. Complementary 2 by 2. This type of table has sets that are complementary to each other. This type of question is common on the GMAT. 2 columns are complementary to each other, and the 2 rows are complementary to each other. We know that each condition would usually give us an equation, and since we need one equation to match the number of variables and equations in the original condition, the equal number of equations and variables should logically lead to answer D. Let's apply the 3 steps suggested previously. Follow the first step of the variable approach by modifying and rechecking the original condition and the question. We have to find the number of people who did not eat anything if 15 guests had a hamburger, 20 guests had a chicken sandwich, and the total number of guests at the party was 30. This question seems tricky, but it is not. Once you understand the process, it is very easy. This question is currently the most common type of question on the GMAT math section. We call this a complementary 2 by 2 question. Let's first draw a table like the one below, assigning variables to each group of guests. These 2 by 2 questions often appear in the exam, so remember this. It will make writing the exam that much easier. People who had chicken sandwiches and hamburgers equals A. People who had chicken sandwiches and no hamburgers equals C. Chicken sandwiches comes to a total of 20. People who had no chicken sandwiches but had hamburgers equals B. People who had no chicken sandwiches and no hamburgers equals D, for a total of 10. We got this by subtracting 30 minus 20. Total of hamburgers is 15. Total of no hamburgers is 15. We got this by subtracting 30 minus 15. Total all around is 30. So, we need to know the value of D. Follow the second and third steps. From the original condition, we have 4 variables, A, B, C, and D, and 3 equations. A plus B equals 15, A plus C equals 20, and A plus B plus C plus D equals 30. To match the number of variables with the number of equations, we need one more equation. Since conditions 1 and 2 will provide one equation each, D would most likely be the answer. Recall 3 principles and choose D as the most likely answer. Practice making the table and the equations with 4 variables and 3 equations. You will be happy you did so when you write the actual exam. Let's take a look at each condition. Condition 1 tells us that the number of people who only had chicken sandwiches was 10. Then we get C equals 10. So from the table, we get C plus D equals 15. Substituting 10 for C gives us 10 plus D equals 15, or D equals 5. Since it is a unique answer, this condition is sufficient. Condition 2 tells us that the number of people who only had hamburgers was 5. That is, B equals 5. From the table, we get B plus D equals 10. And substituting 5 in for B gives us 5 plus D equals 10, or D equals 5. Since it is a unique answer, this condition is sufficient. A simple solution like this shows that you can do well on the exam. Believe in yourself and your ability. Each condition alone is sufficient. So D is the correct answer. Answer D.